Hello everyone, it's Josiah Kilburn again, and today I'm going to be telling you guys all about. So today we're going to be talking with my advisor, Dr. O'Keefe, about an ant he described in the 90s called Probolomyrmex guadacastensis, but I will mistakenly say that it is Probolomyrmex guatemalensis about 500 times, and you're about to experience a jump cut of that right now. This is Probolomyrmex guatemalensis.
I don't think it's Guatemalensis.
And we talked about a paper about Probolomyrmex guatemalensis. This is Dr.
Guadacastensis.
Oh my gosh. We talked about Probolomyrmex guatemalensis.
Guadacastensis.
Man, I'm gonna say this 3 times. I think I should put me messing up like 5 times in there. Today we talked about Probolomyrmex guadacastensis. This is a rare ant that is located in Costa Rica, and it was collected twice. First, a late, and then second, a series of workers by my advisor, Dr. Sean O'Keefe. And today I talked to him about the ant, and we just talk a little bit about how to find it. I would guess.
I don't know about 10 minutes to say on the paper, but...
You don't need 10 minutes to say on the paper. I can fill in the rest. If there's 8 minutes of me talking, I can talk for 8 minutes. You know me that well. Mm-hmm. Expect some more shots in this video. Specifically, if I find anything from Costa Rica back when I went there a while ago, and maybe some stock footage, seeing if we can up the ante on these videos here. Oh, and note one more thing. MyrmecoPortraiture is now officially live in Louisville, as I'll leave this as an Easter egg. You can see the poster for the exhibit in Dr. O'Keefe's office. And this is one of the photos that will be featured in the exhibit. It is not Probolomyrmex guadacastensis, unfortunately. But, you've got a cool picture of leptogenes, which, who knows, maybe we'll talk about later. Okay, so, first of all, we got to introduce ourselves. So the camera's over there. Hello, audience.
Hello, audience.
Thank you guys for watching. Anyone who's watched my last video might know that I'm doing a series on ant papers called Ant Papers. And I wanted to introduce someone special to you. So, hello, who are you?
I'm Dr. O'Keefe. I teach biology here at Morehead State University.
For those unaware, I also go to Morehead State University, and Dr. O'Keefe is my advisor. And for this ant paper series, kind of to start it off, other than the paper that I did for the last video, I wanted to kind of introduce you guys to an interesting paper that he's done. But first, in the last video, I mentioned we always want to have some background when we're going into the paper. This is a really short paper that we're going to be reading today. I first want to give some background of how we met, because I like to tell that story, and people always ask me. Do you remember when we first got acquainted with one another?
Yes, I just finished a talk at a symposium at the University of America back in 2021.
Yeah. It was in Denver. I had been there. That was the first time I had ever done anything felt really professional as an entomologist. My entomology club was running we had a digital symposium on teens in entomology. I think I was gonna stay for your talk, but I was gonna leave the symposium maybe before it to see another one, but I decided not to and ended up staying and really enjoyed your talk. I don't know if you remember what you gave it on or not.
Yes, it was involving undergraduate students in entomology research.
Yeah, and wasn't it part of the news, the symposium to propose teaching and outreach in ESA, which is now a thing, I think. They've actually accepted that as a true and valid branch of ESA. So when you sign up for a membership, you can be part of teaching and outreach, but that was very recent. Do you think that they probably should have had a teaching and outreach wing of ESA sooner?
Probably.
Yeah. Because I know that as someone who does a lot of teaching, you were probably kind of at least a little bit enthusiastic about it coming out. which is imagine why you joined that symposium. So, for those who don't know, ESA is the Entomological Society of America. Dr. O'Keefe, if you would tell us kind of your background in entomology, and if you have, like, what is your experience studying ants in general?
Well, my specialty is actually systematics of tiny little beetles, ants like stone beetles.
Okay, check this out. I actually carry a little booklet with me everywhere. I just happen to have it with me. That is actually Dr. O'Keefe's thesis. Well, I actually couldn't find it, so...
They're not too far afield.
Yeah.
These beetles are quite numerous, but they occur basically in leaf litter. I had opportunity to sample leaf litter all over California, but also as part of teaching, I was a GA for a conservation biology course in Costa Rica. And so as part of that, I brought materials down to look for my little ant-like stone beetles in leaf litter. And so these ants I caught were a byproduct of collecting them. I'd seen ants before, but these were something really weird, which means I could probably identify them. And it turns out that it was not too difficult to determine what genus they belong to, and the genus only has a few species. So it's easy to figure out this is a new species.
So, and specifically, you're referring to the paper that we're going to go over today, which is a new species of Probolomyrmex formicidea from Guanacaste,
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. So, like you said, you had spent some time in Costa Rica. Where were you at the time when you published this paper? When this paper was published?
This paper was published while I was doing my early in my doctorate degree.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I recognized how unique this ant was, but I don't have a background on ants. I have a background on beetles. I wrote the paper, did all the illustrations, and he basically did his stamp of approval.
So this paper I'm reading here says, it's you and Donat Agosti?
Donat Agosti, yeah.
Was he your advisor at the time, or?
No, he was just another specialist.
Oh, okay. In ants, or?
Yes.
Okay. When you were doing this work, were you doing it for your doctorate as well, going to Costa Rica and GAing, or was that for a different project?
Well, going to Costa Rica was during my PhD, my doctorate work. I just had the opportunity to go to participate and collect. And this paper was just it was not part of my dissertation.
Okay.
But it's just a
oh, that's cool. What university were you at when?
This is the University of California at Berkeley.
Did you also go to Berkeley for your undergrad or just your doctorate?
Undergrad.
Undergrad and then doctorate. So, and I do happen to know that you went to Texas A&M at some point, right? That was a postdoc?
That's my postdoc.
Yeah, and that was with ants, right? Or
yes.
No? Okay, yeah.
For his lab on this big project.
So, did you have to learn a lot about ants that you didn't know before when you did that postdoc?
No, because I already spent a while studying ants in Costa Rica. I collected lots of ants in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So I was familiar with the ants. The ones in Costa Rica are really different, really numerous.
Yeah. When you were in Costa Rica, is there a particular reason that you took an interest in ants, or you were like, I just need to know these to know the beetles that I study, or was there anything in particular that made you kind of turn towards?
Well, I had a side interest in ants.
Yeah.
But also there's a tremendous diversity of what ants do there.
Yeah.
Many of the ants are arboreal.
Yeah.
And also you had like the acacia ant, you had thorn ants, you had army ants. So lots of different kinds of ants doing different things.
So would you say it was kind of more the stories around the ants and their life history that was the most interesting thing about studying them?
That's what was interesting.
I also found the stories of ants to be the most compelling and most interesting part of studying them. And so that's part of the reason that I designed my exhibit, MyrmecoPortraiture, which I mentioned a little bit before. But if you want to learn more about what that is and how I use storytelling, ants have stories that kind of define their lives. You can find more about that in my newsletter, Field Notes. More about that later. And when you were doing this, was information easily accessible about, like, how did you find out information about the ants that you were studying? Was it like field guides? Did you bring a bunch of papers with you?
Basically, I was working through E.O. Wilson's The Ants.
The ants, okay, yeah.
The big thing.
Yeah.
And then also had Bolton's new guide to identify the ants.
When you found this specific ant, Probolomyrmex guanacastensis, okay, so when you found this this ant, this hormiga, if you will, what were you doing? Was it leaf litter sifting, and it came out of a sample?
It came out of a sample from leaf litter, so I knew where I collected it, and it was from leaf litter.
Yeah.
So there's no information on what was actually doing in there.
So if we go in the paper, you had mentioned that it was recently advised by Agosti. And so he was the co-author on the paper for obvious reasons, I would guess. And then Taylor. So this is an older paper. I don't remember. I feel like I recognize this name here. 3 species had been described, like you had mentioned before. One from Barrow, Colorado Island, which is in Panama. One from Bolivia, and then Argentina, and then another from Panama. So you knew this was a new species because it was from Costa Rica, northernmost extension of the range of the genus for Probolomyrmex. There are 2 type species, 30 valid species. So that's a lot more than 4.
Yeah.
But that is not a lot of species for any ant at all. Yeah, when I went to Ant Course, we talked about this genus, and the way it was described to me is that it walks around like a little sausage because of the way that its legs are positioned. And so some people had taken to calling them the little sausage ants. That's also, like, they use the same terminology for Doryline as well. And obviously both of them have the, like, antennae that stick out the front and, like, uninterrupted by the,
But we can add that I've been going to the same place in Costa Rica for 3 separate trips.
Yeah.
Each trip into lots of leaf litter work.
Yeah.
This was the only specimen.
So you never found any more
No.
ever since it. Then my question is, let's see if we go to ant maps. Let's see if anyone else has found it since then. So species range map. I'm trying to do species. So this is Probolomyrmex guanacastensis. Okay, so we have 1 record, which I think is yours. Wait, let's see. Does that seem like where would you have collected it? Does this map look about accurate?
That spot right there.
Yeah,
that
yours?
Guanacaste is western Costa Rica.
Yeah, so
So I collected 2 then. A whole type would be 1, and then a paratype.
Oh, okay.
Paratype is no specimen, collected at the same time, same place.
Oh, and you'd see it looks like you collected a queen and an adult worker. So the queen of Probolomyrmex was an ergatoid queen. Did it look like much different than the worker? Does it say in the paper?
I don't remember.
Well, we'll have to see. Today we have a quick anatomy lesson about ergatoid queens. If you can't read my awful handwriting, I have written ergatoid queens on the board and drawn our wonderful logo down here in the corner. And papers. But I'm going to erase that so I can explain this concept to you. Every ant colony has a reproductive member that lays eggs. Usually, this is a fertilized queen. Most queens are identifiable by a section in their mesosoma that is enlarged. This is still true for some ergatoid queens, but say we have, I don't know, this is like a Fadoli or something here. But, you have a queen over here. This is the average queen state. where this middle section, right here, is called the mesosoma. Meso meaning middle, soma meaning body. It is enlarged and it has either something like right here that's called a wing scar, or if this is fully developed and they haven't torn the wing off yet, this is where the wings would attach. Now, an ergatoid queen doesn't have anything like this. Usually, maybe vestigial parts, but it'll have a mesosoma that is either not like this, and it's missing the wing scar, so there might still be an indent, but there's nothing going to represent a wing scar here. That's a condition we see in some species like Monomorium that have ergatoid queens, but in the most cases, this queen is actually going to appear very worker-like. In the case of Leptogenes, which we showed at the beginning of the video, and Probolomyrmex, which this paper discusses. The queen actually just has a very worker-like body, but the difference is her face will have 3 ocelli right here. Ocelli, and then she will have a slightly larger gaster, although this is not immediately measurable. That will be kind of the main distinguishing factor. And if the worker is blind, which is a lot of times the cases for some of these species that have the ergatoid queens, the queen often tends to have eyes. This is just a vestigial remnant of them when they did fly, needing to fly. So usually the workers have more developed ocelli. Again, these help for flight, and eyes. Even though the queens are wingless, because they come from the same reproductive class that normally has wings, oftentimes they have a larger eye and more complicated ocellular systems in their head. So those are the main ways that you can identify them. Here, right here in the head. Now, some species don't make it easy for us, and the workers have ocelli as well as the queens. In that case, you look at mainly the size of that, and again, the other thing you look at is the size of the gaster. But ergatoidy is a wingless condition, so you have no wings, you cannot fly. And that's the meaning of an ergatoid queen or gene or gyne or however you pronounce it. So yeah, here's your biology lesson for today. We talked about ergatoid queens, and now I'm going to write it again in my weird handwriting. So and then we'll for fun's sake, we'll call this one a gyne, which means the same word as a queen in ant biology. So you can't read that at all. That looks awful. But ergatoidy and ergatoid gynes. Hopefully you learned something.
What figures did I do?
Oh yeah, queen. There we have the lengths. So the queen has a smaller head, but a wider head. But it is slightly longer. Okay, yeah.
So the habits is one the worker, one the queen? I don't remember.
Maybe. Let's see. Well, probably one is because
Probably 2 specimens.
it has an eye and number 3 does not. Oh yeah, one to 2 is the ergatoid queen. Oh yeah, that would make sense. The ocelli. Okay. And then 3 to 4 is the worker holotype. So that's interesting.
I drew those.
Now let's see. Is there a picture of it? Let's see what the picture of this one. So this is the queen. Then this one, the one they photographed on ant map. So this would be the specimen that you collected back in 1996. That's crazy.
That bug's older than you are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How does that make you feel that like someone all around the world can like go and find a picture of a specimen that you collected from like at this point what 1996 30 years ago 30 years ago and can see a picture of it like in how well it was preserved, how see pictures of it beyond what you could even comprehend when you published it.
Yeah, they didn't have this one.
Like, is that a weird feeling to
Mm-hmm.
be able to say, oh yeah, people can actually see the picture of what I found? Is it strange to be able to do that?
Yes, it's
Or
quite strange.
with beetles, I feel like there's nothing that approximates ant web and most of the other entomological sciences. I think there's a moth database or
Yes.
two that are really good.
Yeah, I did a moth project, and I accessed that database. It's for all of North America.
Yeah.
Really good series of photographs. I did a
Yeah.
lot when I was doing my moth project back in 2014.
Yeah. So if you could encourage somebody who's maybe learning about ant science for the first time or learning about entomology, like what message would you give them?
Oh, just that ants are extremely diverse.
Yeah.
Very interesting biologies, ecologies.
What would you say to somebody who is maybe a younger scientist, maybe like I was in high school? What could you say as an encouragement for that person?
Ants are a really good place to start.
Yeah.
They're pretty much ubiquitous.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of work done on them, so there's a lot of identification keys,
Yeah.
lots of biology,
Yeah.
ecology. They have a great range of different kinds of biology. And so I thought they would always been interested. I'm glad I did a few.
Yeah. What would your encouragement be to an ant keeper who maybe is younger and an ant keeper who's older that's just interested in ants? And the honesty of just like, yeah, I don't know. If I can make a plug here for a second, I would say that if you're interested in learning more about ants and you have no idea where to get started, I do have a field notes newsletter. And in that newsletter, I talk about all the stuff I do, and I post some about the videos I'm making and the research I'm doing. And it's a great way to kind of dive into the science and really support me if you enjoyed these videos. And also, if you subscribe to the $5 a month option, you can receive a real life, like actual ant specimen every 3 months from the work that I'm actually doing. So, and that will come with a little photo card description that you can hang up or mount somewhere. And there's also other perks to doing that as well, like having full digital access to my exhibit. So, but yeah, I would say to you who are studying ants, maybe as an amateur, as an ant keeper, consider publishing or what it looks like to partner with a university. That might that I didn't consider that enough when I was in high school, and I think that would have allowed me to dive into the sciences much earlier than I had, which would have given me even more experience than I have now. And would have exposed me to more of what the science is like, and you can see if you actually are interested in it or if it's too much politics, too much, if there are things about it that you don't
Let's say if you're near a natural history museum or entomology museum, is that many of them do take volunteers.
If they can take a volunteer or an intern. Sometimes because of policies,
they don't.
They can't. Yeah, reach out to the entomology museum, and if there is a university that has an entomology museum, usually those are more open than like the big natural history museums, and you might get to do more work or work with a grad student. Don't shy away from asking a grad student. They will gladly give you free work to do, maybe even let you help publish, who knows. I'm not speaking for them, but they have a lot to do, and oftentimes they do just about as much as like a professor might. So they're a good resource as well. Don't shy away from reaching out to grad students as well. This has been Ant Papers. Today we talked about Probolomyrmex guanacastensis, and this is Dr. Sean O'Keefe, my advisor, and he wrote this paper back in 1996.
Yeah, I think it came out in 98.
98, but you found the specimen in 96. And thank you all for tuning in. And any last words?
Good luck. Keep going with the good videos.
Thank you.